All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cheesecake Challenge. This is Slick Jimmy, and this is Slick Jimmy Speaks. We have three great artists here tonight, and hopefully we have a few more drop in, but we got great ones tonight. This is Humble Marty, Illustrator Monk, and Jesse. We have three great artists here.
Hello.
I'm getting a little bit of feedback here, but it's all right.
Sorry, I had the mute. I had muted it.
That's all right. Tonight's challenge is let me look at it properly so that I can share it out and give the particulars of our. Let me see here. Lascivious, libidinous, and lewd libations lubricating the lusty loins of lush Libertine Lassies. That is the Cheesecake Challenge's theme for the night, and the rules are: 1. Transform an ugly female into a gorgeous, scantily clad woman. And I get whatever way you want to do that, from position 1 to position 2. From drinking a wild potion or concoction given to them, these are 2 and 3, given to them by a wizard or a mad scientist, and the twist: the potion makes them very amorous. Color as much as you can. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to have the wizard there. You can use things like beakers or a spell book or something to represent that there is some sort of difference than just something they get from the bar. So yes, it's a potion, but also you could intimate that maybe you could have a bartender, or you could be at a bar and it's a magic bar, something like that. There, just come up with an idea and run with it, and there we go. We are 3 minutes past the hour. That means I'll give probably let's go 10 minutes past 11 my time, so that'll be 2 hours and a little bit. And there we are. So here we go. Hopefully other people will show up. Apparently I cannot, because I sent out too many DMs. Apparently Twitter now has with their new stuff that they do, doesn't allow me to send out links that like I was doing. So we'll hopefully people will pick up. Had Illustrator Monk send the hangout in the Cheesecake chat, and in my other artists collective. Hopefully other people see it and want to jump in. However, we are with three great artists. Humble Marty, who is a regular here, and also Illustrator Monk, who is generally regular, depending on the day. And we have a new artist, Jesse, who's going to try his hand at getting cheesecake to the masses, and we'll go from there. I am Can you guys hear my mom's TV in the background?
A little bit.
I have to live with that. Hopefully it doesn't cause the copyright gods to freak out or something. Yeah, that's what it is tonight. I got started late. I was sitting here. I set up the page, and then I was working on some stuff on Photoshop. I'm working on a logo for my comic book, Little Girl Lethal, and I dozed off like an old man. And yeah, that's what happens. And
Did you doze up at your computer?
in front of my computer. Yeah, I have a little laptop, so I'm like here on my bed, and I had to. Yeah. Yep. If anybody I could share that if somebody wants to see it. I can screen share real quick. One moment. No, it's not. Doesn't want to let me share. Weird. Oh, there it went. Just thinking about it for a minute. That was maybe Hangouts just doesn't have. To let everybody know, Hangouts is going away for use with YouTube on August 1st. Yep, they're taking it out of our hands and telling us to go somewhere else and do other things. So I'm gonna have to figure out another bit of software. Looks like OBS, and yeah, that'll be my way of doing things. Hopefully it doesn't interrupt too much while I try to figure it out because OBS is not as um, easy as say Hangouts, but Hangouts is that's the way they're doing it now. So you're seeing some things. So I'm going to go over to my Photoshop and let's zoom in. That's this is my wraparound cover that you're seeing, and I haven't put the titling in yet. My friend Whiskey Paint, my artist.
Nice.
Yeah, this is the background. I can't get this box out. There we go. And let me see if I can move that over. Yeah, that's the background, and it'll have little, and then the girl will be right here, and lethal. Right now, I'm looking for the correct fonts that I want to use, and I could probably pay for them. I'd love to have one made, but I've checked on it. It's pretty expensive to get a font made for you, just proprietary. But anyway, this is with a little adjustment from what he sent me. I've come up with this. I like it. You can see Sugar's swords crossed here, and then her Desert Eagle guns. There's her Ankh with a little bit of bling right in the center. And so, yeah, that's essentially what it's going to look like. And down at the bottom is for the titling. And then I'll have a little bit of trade dress. I think either I'll put it up here or I'll put it over here beneath. Whoop, I went a little too far. Maybe down here, a little box that will say my Big Nugget Books logo. We'll see. Still working that out. And the spine of the book should go right here along the this ankh is part of that. So yeah, it's I'm enjoying the process. It's I'm learning some things. So this might be a little bit smaller too because otherwise it'll go around the bend. So yeah, what do you guys think? Let me get out of the sharing business here.
So far, so good. I like it.
Yeah, I'm like I said, it's pretty fun to do, and I'm not great at Photoshop. I can kind of mess around with it a little bit. I have a little bit of facility, but I'm not when it comes to like digital drawing and things. I'm just as much a novice as I am on paper. And let's go look at Humble. Humble's putting in got a head there. She's look there's the body, and let's go over to Illustrator Monk. Illustrator Monk has another woman's body is taking shape there, and we got Jessie. Jessie got a statuesque young lady taking shape as well. All right, let's see if there's anybody in the chat. I have not. Did I put? No, I haven't done that yet.
Huh? I tweeted it out, so hopefully we'll get some people joining.
Yeah, I was all kinds of screwed up. Last night I was going to do this and never got around to it. Well, I had some things come up ahead that took precedence over YouTube. And so, yeah, let's see what we got. Wow, we got quite a few people here. Interesting. Got Flit Amaranth, my trusty moderator. We have Good Dog Press. Good Dog Press says, I have no internet. What? You know what, Manny?
How is he telling us he has no internet?
Yeah, I think Manny and there's Tank Ferret. I think both of them should drop in if they have the time. That would be lovely if they did. I don't know where the Manny I know can get the link in the Cheesecake chat and then give it to Tank. I think Tank might be in there as well. Hopefully they drop in. I'd love to have you guys in here. Lorenzo Sleestack is in the house as well. Nice to see you there. And I'm getting a little gravelly there. Yeah. Oh, I guess let's just see. Lorenzo throws out. Let me read some of these chats. Tank Ferret says, "Hey Flit, Manny, Jimmy, and friends." Hey Tank. And then it says, "I know, man. We're both working our fingers to the bone." I guess they're working on their own, both their own specific books, so I understand that. So that's good. I still love to have you in here if you wanted to take a little time to come in, but that's fine. And then Good Dub Press. Only got my phone. I don't have my internet. Oh, so he's on his phone. Huh. All that must have gotten knocked out. Tank Ferret, I'd have to do digital acrobatics to get my laptop hooked up to the net. That's all right. That's all right, guys. Yeah. And Lorenzo says, "Hey, Slick Jimmy." He's talking to me directly. Hey, Zo, what's up, man? And I am. I can't send any tweets right now or any DMs because they got mad at me on the Twitter. I sent out too many things, and then they got mad. So yeah, weird. I would have sent out tweets to a lot of different people, but I mean DMs for a lot of different people, but it's the way it goes sometimes. Let's see if they'll let me do tweets anymore to my own chat. No, I'm gonna do hey. Oh, let me go. Let me do it. Interesting. Don't know what's going on. See if I can paste that. Nope, it won't let me paste that message again. Interesting. Let's copy that. Sorry, guys. I'm being completely boomerang tonight because I'm a bit of an idiot. I feel stupid when I fall asleep. Like I never used to do that, but now if I'm working on something, sometimes it just the next thing I know, I have a book on my face, or I have my face on the computer screen. Just it's weird that way. It's funny when you get old and you run out of juice later and later. Yeah, we have 7 people watching currently. 5 people like it. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's go back to the panel since I've been yakking here for a minute. Still 3 wonderful artists. Maybe we'll get a few more to show up. Don't know. But that's what happens. Let's look at Humbles. Oh, she's taking a swig of something. And we got Illustrator Monk. Ooh, looks like an elf. Nice. Excellent. Lots of fun flying hair there. And we got Jesse. Jesse making looks like somebody's drinking something there as well. All right. Let's see. Twitter being weird, not allowing me to do things. Josh Spencer says, "Hey, I'm not home." Oh, darn it. Well, Josh is off gallivanting around probably Sydney somewhere. Gonna miss that fella, but it is what it is tonight. Apparently, I can't send that one particular tweet. I probably have to change it up somehow. Interesting. Who knows what goes on in the midnight hours? They're over there at Twitter, what they're thinking. Trying to police everybody's, communications. But, it is what it is. See if I can do Pedro.
You think when they're thinking about policing, they tweet in bird?
Yeah, they won't let me even send that link at all. Yeah, tweet in bird. No, they won't let me send the link. They'll let me talk, but they won't let me send the link. Because the link is bad. Very bad. All right. Well, how's your guys' week been? Humble? Been staying out of trouble?
Oh yeah, I've been staying out of trouble.
Not me. I try to get in as much trouble as I can, but the older I get, the less energy I have for trouble. How about you, Monk? Been keeping things real?
Yeah, trying to stay afloat with all the commissions.
Well, at least people love your work. That's nice to know. A little bit of a nice revenue stream on the side for your talent. That's good stuff. Now, Jesse, tell us a little bit about yourself. Since,
I am a freelance artist. I work out of Austin, Texas. I am a graduate of the Savannah College of Art and Design. Graduated back in 06. with a
Where's
degree in
your? Sorry. Go ahead.
sequential art. I originally wanted to work in comic books. I actually got reviewed by Marvel and DC, like on our final year presentations. So I actually met like Axel Alonso and Bob Schreck, who was running DC's talent at the time. And so that was a pretty cool experience. Unfortunately, my work wasn't up to par what they were looking for, but the way they are nowadays, I don't think I would want to work with them anyway. work with them anyway.
Yeah, it's
I much rather being freelance.
it's an interesting industry out there right now.
Yeah.
I'm lucky to be paired up with an artist who he's a mature man. He's actually older than I am, and that's saying something. Um, I'm not ridiculously old, but I'm half a century, and he has been around longer than that. And he had a full career over there in Vladivostok, Russia, and I guess he made enough to just kind of retire. And so on the side, his entire life he'd been doing art, and so he just kind of set up a DeviantArt page, and that's where I encountered him. But people like him. He does kind of a manga, a European flavored manga style.
Yeah, it's awesome. I've seen his work. It's mind blowing.
Yeah, and he just kind of set up this thing where he does commissions and makes money off of that, and then we kind of partnered up after he did a bunch of commissions for me for my novelization of the same universe that Little Girl Lethal is. And then at one point I said, well, do you think you'd be willing to do a sequential thing with me? And it took off. He had started doing things for like his one job that he'd done was for I believe Hot Toys, and he'd done a design for them. And then he said after his experience with that, he just didn't really want to deal with it anymore. He said that the whole industry over here is weird, and I was like, that's the way of saying it. You know, he's being nice.
Well, I have a lot of friends who actually work professionally in comic books. I was part of a sketch group back in Indiana, and one of my real life friends, Kanan White, he just did his Indiegogo campaign with his writer for the Evil Santa Claus comic.
Mm-hmm.
And they were able to successfully crowdfund that in a month. And another friend of mine who was in that same sketch group, he does covers for Xenoscope Comics.
Well, that's good. That's a good gig.
Yeah, and he does like those really like sexy pin up for the superhero characters with the fantasy elements.
That's does he do constant work, or is it like just
he does some stuff for I think like the Nature Channel for like they're doing like a series on supernatural animals, and he did a cover recently of the Chupacabra that was really fantastic. And so I have all these professional friends. I'm thinking, man, I really gotta kick my butt and get back into drawing like full time regularly.
Well, I mean, drawing is one of those things that like I have some facility with drawing. Like I can do a little bit, but I've never done the concerted effort of. My phone is acting weird. It's weird. What's going on tonight? But I've never taken the concerted effort to practice the skill that it takes to do the 10,000 hours, as they say. And that's on me for never making my talent any better than it is now.
Yeah, same here. Just like I used to draw like constantly, like every day for like hours on end, and then I got into more 3D stuff, and that just sort of took over my career. I really want to do like more concept art, digital painting, and eventually get some of my own comic ideas out there. And I'm like getting younger. I'm hard to it.
Sorry, man. I have to interrupt you. Yeah, I understand. It takes a lot of time. Flit Amaranth says, "Show us your drawing skills, Jimmy." I don't know. We got 4 watching, 5 likes. I'm driving people away with my not saying really anything at all. Yeah. Well, I guess I could share. I do have a DeviantArt page somewhere. I hardly ever go to it. But I mean, if somebody wanted to actually see it, then I guess I could do that. Let me. Let's see. It's something I've done in the past for fun, but it's not something that I ever considered that I could do for a living because it does take a long time to up your skills so that you can see especially with like things like anatomy or like machinery. It just takes a lot of work, and and so, apparently there's more than one slick Jimmy now on DeviantArt. Who knew? I did not know that. All right. Let me see if I can bring up something so you guys can see what I can do a little bit. When I was putting my brain to it, but it's been a long time since then. Let's see. We'll take a look at it one more time. My screen share doesn't want to share. It's weird. It just takes a while for it to think about it. Huh. That's goofy. All right, we'll go back and we'll look at this. That's done by me. So anybody sees that, they can see something. It's a character called Killer Cadillac that I did a long while ago, and yeah. So you kind of see I did a little bit of landscape, a little bit of a mountainscape there, and there's a car, and there you go. So yeah, I have some ability to render, but not super great. All right, back to the panel. And let's look at Humble. Humble's putting in some eyes. Very colorful as usual. Fun. And we have oh wait a minute. I was white boxed. Totally white boxed. Derp, derpity derp, and derp. Let's go back and I'll share that again so people can actually see that. There we go. That's what I drew. Now you guys can see it. I've gone through my boomer stage. All right. Going back to the panel, and we're going to stop sharing because there's a Humble and Illustrator Monk. And you guys probably see what he's been doing for the last little while. He's getting there, so his pencils are in. And there's Jesse's. Nice. You got a thick body woman there, man. She's thick. All right, let's go back to the panel. See what's going on. Excuse me, back to the chat. All right. All right, Flit apparently saw my drawing skills. Gave me a thumbs up. Thanks, man. 5 watching currently, 5 likes. Yeah, it's a quiet night here on a Thursday night. Hopefully, I wasn't able to get out anything out on Twitter, telling people about what I'm doing. Like I said, I screwed up completely tonight by falling asleep, and that makes me I'm chagrined currently. And my mom apparently is watching. I think Murder She Wrote because I can hear that in the background.
I love that show.
But it's not bad actually. When I was younger, I just hated it. I don't know why. I just young kid didn't care. But as I've gotten older, I can kind of appreciate it. She watches that, and then later on, it's all on Hallmark Channel. She'll watch like Heart to Heart, which I remember like from the '70s, and it's all like disco music and stuff. It's kind of funny. Aaron Spelling, the same guy, did a 90210 back in the '90s. This guy did that. There's a married couple that have adventures with people with murder. I always think that here's the funny thing I think about Murder She Wrote. Like Angela Lansbury's character, Mrs. Fletcher, if she comes into your town or you're anywhere near her, I would get away from her because murder always happens around her. Always. So, it's just it's unavoidable. So if she came to your town, I just go on vacation. And get out of Dodge because the harbinger of death has entered the area. All right, we got Jessie making the body quite robust now. She's very busty young lady, and we like that. I'm happy with that.
Side effect of concoction.
Yeah, and then um, Illustrator Monk loves his hourglass ladies. Definitely, he has a very distinctive style. That's fun. And we go back to Humble. Humble is she loves kind of a cartoon style and it's very, very, very colorful. Never have to worry about her putting color down because she gets to it initially in her digital work. Going back to the chat, see if anybody has showed up besides our trusty Flit Amaranth. Nobody seems to be speaking. That's all right. 4 watching currently, 5 likes. Yeah. Guess it's like I said, it's a quiet night, and apparently I didn't get my ducks in a row and so forth. So I have to live with that. This next week, if I can get it running, figuring out OBS because Hangouts is kaput. It will be the 20th episode, and hopefully I can do that. It's going to be something. Some people have showed me how to do kind of a minor way of doing it, but like the more people you add, I'm not sure. I've heard that OBS sometimes gets taxed a little bit by putting a bunch of people on. So we'll see. I mean, I guess there are other ways of, attacking the issue, but taking away Hangouts is kind of an imposition. It's kind of a hassle, but it is what it is. Google and boy, I bet you guys can really hear that. Somebody's playing violin. And so, what do you guys think about the getting rid of Hangouts?
Actually, this is my first time on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, this will probably be the last time unless you get a few more days. I think it's the first is like what? It's like Monday, something like that. So Monday or Sunday, and that'll be that. I'm not sure why they chose that. Probably they're worried about white supremacists or something conspiring on Hangouts. That sounds like something they'd worry about. Or it's just been too much taxing on their servers. I don't know. I don't know why they did it. Who knows? Why YouTube does things and why Google does things is often a mystery. It's a conundrum wrapped in an enigma, wrapped in a Gordian knot, thrown down a well in dark blackness of Mordor. That's Google. And Humble, what's your idea tonight? What are you thinking?
Me?
Yeah, for your theme here.
Thought I'd add Boo Butt and she'd ordered it off of eBay. Like one of those Instagram diets with unexpected side effects.
Oh, yes. One of those all juice diets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. People do strange things to body modify without going into surgery, I suppose. Looking over at Illustrator Monkey starting to lay down the ink. Been pretty good. Got her nice little elven girl. She's found a potion somewhere. And things are starting to take place. And then over to Jesse. He's flipped the image now, so she's facing the other way. She's definitely got herself a little bottle of something. Yeah, see what happens. Gonna run ourselves back to the the chat, see what's going on in there. And still no more movement. No, we got 6 people watching now. Fantastic. Whoever is in there watching, if you want to say hello in the chat, that would be nice. Um, so we know who showed up, and we'll give you a shout out. Yeah. Maybe I can show you another piece of art since I did that other thing. So let me see if I can go find it. One of those things I've done for a long time. Where did I put it? There it is. Get out of this. Yeah. For a long time I was quite active on DeviantArt, and I haven't been for many years. And is what it is. Oh, wow. Let's see. I don't know if there's anything else I can show you in there. Not right now, without futzing around trying to log in while I'm talking to you guys, which would allow me to know my brain doesn't multitask that well. So, oh well, it is what it is currently. Yeah, it says I have mature content, which actually isn't that mature, but apparently they think it is. So yeah, well. Oh, somebody got a message. Okay, well, I tried. I gave it a shot. Going back to the chat.
A funny story. I first started using Photoshop when I was a sophomore in high school. That was in 1998.
Wow. I don't think the when I first started using Photoshop, I think it was later. I was in my 30s. I'm older, so it was the first time I sat down and dinked around with it, and I have a lot more fun with Photoshop than I do with the other application from Adobe, the one that does vectors.
Illustrator?
Yeah, Illustrator. I just never got into it. Hey, Lady Celtic Moon, howdy. Well, howdy to you. Nice of you to show up, and we got Zach Hawkins as well. It's great. Appreciate that. And Flynn Amaret says you can see more of Illustrator Monk's work in a 60-page graphic novel, Tales from the Stacks, currently in demand on IGG in the Indiegogo. That's true. Illustrator Monk is doing one of the stories for Professor Geek, and that's fantastic. I'm very happy actually about that. I backed that book wholeheartedly, and I'm waiting patiently, as we all do, for good work. It'll be soon to show up, maybe in the next coming months. Oh yeah, Lady Celtic. I'm not sure if I know you, but glad to have you around. Yeah, and Zach, you guys hear that hum? That's weird. I'm hearing a hum. Weirdness. Definitely hearing my mother's TV in like the other side of the house. I should have told her to turn it down. Oh. Yes, Manny. I guess Manny took off, or he's just using his phone. So he's busy doing his book. His book is the Unbreathable Skunk Girl, and I would suggest people go out and check that out. Another friend of mine, Larry Higgins, is doing a book called Niobe, and maybe I should look those up. Maybe that would just fill in the time here. And I'm gonna go back and look at the. One sec here. Let's go back and look at the panel. Oh, is that fireworks? It is fireworks. We have in my state, in my state we have a holiday that's just for Utah. It's called Pioneer Day, and that was yesterday. and you're allowed to still fire off fireworks the day after Pioneer Day. So yeah, that's people going out there letting off a little bit of pyrotechnics, and that might interfere with our broadcast a little bit. Just a little bit of trivia about Utah. Um, on the 24th of July is when supposedly the first Mormon pioneer wagon train appeared in Salt Lake Valley, and Brigham Young came up on this not butte, promontory area, and said, "This is the right place." And now we call it "This is the place." So Salt Lake, that's the day when we celebrate. Utah basically is taking form as us colonizers showing up. Yeah, so got a Humble Marty working on this, starting to see some boobs. Last week, Humble Marty decided to go with big boobs, and I think she likes them. She's adding them a little bit more frequently now. Illustrator Monk has got things going with his beautiful lines. For those of you who don't know, Illustrator Monk does do commissions, although he is currently involved in doing some sequential art. Maybe if you can get yourself in the pipeline, you can get yourself a piece of original art from him. That would be fantastic. Now, Jesse, do you do original art? Do you do commissions, that sort of thing?
I do, but mostly in different areas. Like a lot of the work I do get is like for like insurance companies and like lawyers and advertising design. Just these storyboards and stuff. It's not fancy, but it pays the bills.
Right. Yeah. Definitely using your education. That's good stuff. Yeah. Let me give me a second while I mess around with see if I can find some blah 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 blah. My tongue is abandoning me. We're gonna go to Indiegogo, and we're gonna look at some stuff. I know that this is something that other people do, but first of all, you're gonna see mine, and we're gonna flip through that a little bit since I'm choosing to go this route, I guess. One moment while I get my shit together. Uh, and I'm gonna share once again, and back to this. For those who haven't seen, this is Little Girl Lethal. This is where we're approaching 23,000. We'll see how much longer we're up. I'm receiving art for the secondary story right now, and like I said, I was working to do the cover last before I got on and fell asleep. So you can kind of look here, and that's some of the art you're gonna get in here. These are pinups that I had done for basically illustrations I had done for um, my novelization that I was working on. I still am. This is a panel from the book. This is another illustration. Here's a page. Yeah, so you can kind of see the art a little bit. I'm kind of running through it fast. Let's go see what else we have.
He's really good.
Yeah, Whiskey Paint certainly has his ability to create art. Going to Indiegogo, I probably should have put in what I want. Let's go look at Star Blades. Now, this is from Kyle Ritter. Kyle Ritter's fame is he's the colorist for Ethan Van Sciver on Cyberfrog, and this is what he's doing right now. Now, this is all his work. This is his lines. This is his colors. So yeah, he's creating a new universe, Star Blades Volume 1, and he's currently got 36,000. Kind of blown me out of the water. But yeah, I would suggest you go and take a look at him. I really like this project, and it's one of those fun things to see. Let's see, go back. Now, how do we find just comics? Am I just being an idiot? Is there a way to find just straight comics on here?
I think there's an item in the menu that lets you do comics and graphic novels, I think.
Comics, video games, there it is, right there. Thank you very much, Illustrator Monk. He's a gentleman and a scholar. We looked at Starblades. There's what is this? Thunder Punch, Gunship Thunder Punch. It's doing pretty well too. Again, higher than me. I forgot to mention that if you're going to get my book, it is for adults. It's not for children. It's a mature content. This one is Gunship Thunder Punch, and it's kind of got that kind of Gundam look going on. Their stretch goal, as for $30,000, was unlocked, and as you can see, they yeah, it's pretty cool with this mecha stuff going on. You can hear fireworks going on in the background. Oh yeah, so yeah, go check that out. I'm not sure who the person is that's doing it. Let's take a look at the. It's Brian Shearer, and he's part of the, I believe, part of the community around us. And yeah, go take a look at it. And then also, what do we got here? Graveyard Shift number 2. That's from John Malin. John Malin had a very successful Graveyard Shift Volume 1. This is the continuation of that story, and hopefully it will be as interesting as the first. And yeah, there's some of the art there, looking very Wolverine. This vampire. Yeah. And there's a very buxom young lady, as we like. And let's go back for a moment and check out. Oh, derp. There we go. Let's see, Humble. Look at that. There's Humble coming in with a little green in the background. She's got some shoulder. Can't remember the name of this part of it. There's a name for that part of the armor, and I'm blanking on it right now. Yeah, it goes on the shoulder. And Illustrator Monk. Very nice, very nice. Lots of fun. And got Jesse filling in the face here. Very good. Man, they're going crazy outside. Actually, last night there was a whole bunch of mortars going off, so there was a bunch of booms. It's what you get Pioneer Day. Let's go back to the chat real quick. Gonna jump over there and bring this direction. Yay. All right. And let's see what we got. Everybody gets to look at the chat. Nice. Yeah. Flit has been keeping up with this, putting those in there. Thank you, Flit. Very good. Well, look, there's Larry. Larry of Rebel Comics, Niobe and Avani fan. Nice to have him there. There's a 7 watching, 7 likes. Very good. Neil Star Productions. He says, I love disco music. I think that was in reference to the music that came from Heart to Heart, the TV show back in the day. Neil Star Productions. I've been unable to participate in Hangouts in live streams the past few months. I've already made peace with not using Hangouts. Yeah, well, such is life.
The Doom clock is counting.
Oh yeah. Hey, we have Larry in the panel. Nice to have him here.
Well, I saw you're kind of low on spots, or some spots open, Jim, and you had an open Hangout link. So I thought I would click on it and at least drop in for a little bit.
That's fine. I mean, that's why we're doing it, and you are in the Cheesecake chat, so that's fine. Or you're in the Pleasure Dome, one of the two.
I'm in the Pleasure Dome. Damn.
I think so. Yeah. The Pleasure Drome. Yes.
I like the Pleasure Dome better. That sounds good. It's just like this dome of pleasure, Like.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. And so let's go back and look at the what is wrong with me? Many things. Okay, we're gonna move down. I don't know this Sithra 5 and 6 complete box set. That's from Jason Brubaker. Oh, Jason Brubaker. Yeah, go guys, go check that out. He is doing very well at $84,175. So, of course, Jason Brubaker has quite he's quite a creator of note. Door Kickers. It says, I'm not sure who does this, but take a look. Looks like some sort of special ops kind of thing. The art looks good, at least from this first bit. It's a little different style than up here. Different. Oh, those are different covers. Yeah, this art looks pretty good. This military style story. Yeah. Let's see what they say up top. Special ops use magic and advanced weapons to take on horrific otherworldly creatures by Scott McCullough. Yeah, they have a fixed goal of $5,000, $2,450. 53 backers. They got about a month left. I would, if you think this is something you would like, go check it out and put some money down on it so they can hit their goal and keep on going. I support any creators that are working hard to do their thing. There's Jawbreaker's God King from Richard C. Meyer, and he's doing quite well at $116,082. Yeah, he's certainly made a go of with his franchise. Night is Falling. Don't know this one actually. Number 1, Welcome to Jonas Harbor. It's Stranger Things with Vampires. Pre-order issue. Okay. And looks like they hit their goal. That sounds like something you'd like to look at. Great. Here's a Earthworm Jim. Now, Earthworm Jim is I've never played the game, but I like Doug Knaple. And I know that there's some people out there that have some whole lot of things to say in many different directions about Doug, but I have nothing but good things to say about Doug Knaple. This is an epic story, epic comics book story of Earthworm Jim told for the first time by the creator of Earthworm Jim, Doug Knaple. And they have hit $750,000. Now, personally, before they go to print, I'd love to see this be $1 million, just because I just would. There's also a Monster MD who's done very well, $46,398. Von Klaus is the artist on this, and it's a very interesting idea. I think he's the creator as well and the writer. Interesting using classic monsters and so forth to tell a new story. So yeah, go check that out. It looks like a lot of fun. The Case of the Littlest Umbrella, that's from Tug. He's got 90,000, done very well. This is a book told about, in a way, about his daughter, Elizabeth, and they've done interesting idea, kind of Lovecraftian horror mixed in, I guess, for family friendly, if that makes any sense. But it's done very well, and good on him. I don't know this Beyond the Woods at all. The Abductables, they are. Let's give them a little love. Oh, well, let's do Beyond the Woods. Beyond the Woods is at 8,648 with 39 days left, and 86%. Their goal is $10,000. So it obviously looks kind of this kind of Disney-esque style of animals. Let's go down and look and see what else we have. That might be why they're not moving up as much. They only have one bit of. Oh, there it is. Yes, very, very Disney in its style. Looks like a lot of fun. Quite painterly. Looks good for children. So if this is something you think could be good on your shelves for your child, might be a little scary for some with this kind of imagery, but I think that might be something you might want to look into. They have tiers of, let's see the tiers. They have a $10 PDF, $25 book. Where's that PDF? I don't know. Looks like PDF bundle. And then the books, is this a book? Printed book is $35. So yeah, and then there's a $50, I guess you get pins and pinups or posters and things. So yeah, and then this one has a comic duo, $60. You get 2 books, it looks like. So yeah, that looks good for kids. I always like things for children. It's to help them learn how to read. And
Looks very Disney-like.
It does. It looks very Disney-like, and I would hope that people would invest in something like that. I don't have any kids, so it's not something I would immediately jump on, but I know a lot of people do, and it looks like looks like a lot of fun. It's like they put a lot of work into it. Let's go back and look into the last one. Might have a look at Larry's thing here real quick. This is the abductables, and they're at 7,434 with 276 backers. Yeah, I think they hit their goal. But yeah, this is the one that By Kamalis is involved with Michael Derrick. But By Kamalis is the artist, and it's all in black and white. It looks like. I think I think they're done.
It looks like
Yeah.
it's done. Yeah.
Yeah, they're done. They should have left it open. I'm sorry. I think that's cutting your nose off, spite your face if you can be an indie man on Indiegogo. I understand that you can't do that on Kickstarter, but it is what it is. Let's see if we can find Niobe.
Yeah, Niobe's the little comic that could. It's trucking along. It's 88% funded now.
That's great, man.
I was just on with Matthew Reese on his broadcast, and we were hanging out and talking about it. Then they got more interested in what was in my room.
Well, you got a lot of stuff in your room, man. You
Yeah,
can go
like,
on.
oh, that
Wow.
looks cool. That looks cool. You know, so.
Yeah, you're $1,350, and your fixed goal is $1,519 because you're Canadian, you weirdo. And
No, because I have to label my stuff in Canadian dollars. So $2,000 is worth $1,519 in US.
yeah, like I said, you're weirdo.
Weirdo, it's not my fault.
If you haven't, Larry is a pretty good writer, and he's put together quite a universe here with Niobe and then ancillary characters, specifically Avani. He did another comic book just recently with her.
In the middle of fulfilling that as we speak. I'm working on a package as we talk, actually.
So yeah, and if that sounds like this looks like something you'd like, it's a very sexy character. Not quite as sexy as my Sugar Lightspeed, but very sexy. And he's got a lot of art he's collected over the years. And see, like we got this cover right here. We got our friend Josh Spencer of Spencer Tunes, who did this image.
Yeah, he did a dynamite job too. You know, me and you, Jim, we got the pleasure of kind of watching Josh do this from conception to finished product, and it was awesome to see.
Josh wanted to make it a little bit more sexy, and then Larry pulled him back. But I like what came out. It's nice. Some people have issues with the cleavage. I do not. I think the cleavage is very, very welcome. And then you can get T-shirts.
There's not enough cleavage in comic books.
This is true. And then, like, this is kind of a bit of the interior art that you see. Lots of action. Niobe doing her thing, saving a life. Niobe has the ability to open portals. Kind of in a similar way to, say, America Chavez, but she's not as much of an idiot.
I didn't know what American Chavez did. I always kind of compared her to like Magic of the X-Men or maybe Blink. You know what I mean?
Well, that would be I would compare her to that because both of those are America Chavez punches like dimensional holes and then doesn't think very often about the consequences of anything she does. So getting off on a tangent, but
From the Marvel movie universe, just you wait and see.
Yeah, if I were a Marvel, which obviously I'm not, I would have long since devoted a lot of energy into doing, say, somebody like Magic, who's Colossus's sister. Maybe she's a little bit too Aryan looking. I don't know what the deal is, but she's a very interesting girl. She can do magic. She's a mutant. She has a great big sword, and she's a badass. And they seem to ignore her on a regular basis. Of course, they ignore a lot of the female characters that I love from the comics on a regular basis. Say like Tigra, one of my favorites, very very sexy, but been around forever, and they just kind of ignore her. Whatever. Don't get me off on Marvel, please. I
like what Flint Animant's saying in the chat. He says, also Neostar is correct. Sugar plus Niobe plus Skunkle equals the holy trinity of sexy.
There is a very good possibility that those three characters will be doing stuff together in the future. We've been talking with Larry, and I've been talking with Manny, and it's very possible the unholy trinity of sex.
Dude, I was asked about that tonight again. Like when I was on Matt's stream, I'm like, I said, we're talking about it. We're talking about it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go back to the well, let's go back to the chat for a minute. Let's get my, because I haven't.
Now Crypto's trying to get in here, I think.
Well, I left him links, so
I'll fire him off for
he
him.
says my link sucked. Can you send him a link?
Yeah, I'll send him a link.
I don't know what things have been weird on my phone. I don't know. I sent him a link, but apparently it didn't work. Yeah. So we got here. Flammer says, "Jimmy, stop! You're killing me. Can't keep up with these links." I'm sorry, man. I apologize. Flit. Very, very, very much. I'll try to be slower if I do that again. He did do Earthworm Jim, which is awesome. I appreciate that. Flit Amaranth is one of the best mods on the internet today. For those who don't know, he did say the holy trinity of sexy. Definitely. Crypto saying my link sucked. Definitely sucked. Everything has been kind of off kilter tonight because I don't know reasons. And then Flit Amaranth says, "Show him how it's done, Crypto." Jimmy sent me a fake link to nowhere. I'm sorry, man. I don't know why that didn't work. So weird.
Are you sure Google Hangouts is doing the boomerang?
I'm not saying it's probably me. I'm gonna be honest. It's probably me. Did you send him the link?
I did. Yeah, I sent it to him in Facebook. We'll see what happens.
All right. Yeah. So that's nice. I'm sorry about that, Flit. I will try not to run you into the ground. Let's take a look at the here. All right, getting more color with Humble Marty, and very nice.
So this is the challenge where they drink the potion, right?
Exactly. It is indeed the challenge where they take a potion somehow. Obviously, Illustrator Monk is going with the magical route as opposed to the scientific route.
I love his. Yeah.
Yeah, he's and he's it looks like he's going sans clothing today, but covering it up strategically. Very nice, very nice. Going over to Jessie. Jessie is kind of a classic looking girl with her long flowing toga robe or something, and she's has taken her.
She's ready to down that thing, man. She's like, let's go, like party girl here.
Well, I think she's already done it because she looks pretty good. The idea was to take an ugly character and then make him hot, but I think she's already hot, so good enough. Yeah. Let's go back and look at some more projects. See what we think. Okay, get ready, Flit. I'm gonna go slow this time. I will go slow.
Pablo Romero in the chat.
Pablo Romero, why aren't you on the panel, Pablo? I'm just wondering. Let's see something that sound. What is this?
So this is interesting. This is like one of the previous to this was like the Rowdy Piper book, and so this is Nikolai Volkov, and big time wrestler, predominantly featured in the WWE as kind of the Cold War Russian type, hanging out with the likes of the Iron Sheik and whatnot. These wrestling books are a riot.
For those of you who love wrestling, this is something I would suggest you go and look at. Looks like pretty good art. Nikolai Volkov, a Russian wrestling legend. The authorized true story of the Hall of Fame Russian heel from interviews prior to his death. They currently have a goal of 3,000, and they have 18%. and it's $549. 24 days left. If you're a fan of old school wrestling or just wrestling in general, this looks like something you might want to put your money on. It's $8 for digital, $20 for the graphic novel, and yeah.
I think we have someone that just joined us that's a fan of old school wrestling.
No, save your money for Suplexing Sleuths, the secret comic coming from Crypto Comics, and Megawatt versus the Vampires of the Sun. You're gonna need to save that money.
There's a bit of self-deprecating pimping there. So yeah, Matt, our friend Matt Merce, who is Crypto Comics and Testosterone.
Dox me, Jimmy. Okay. Thanks, Jimmy Kabir.
I think it's already been done long since.
It has many times, many times, many times.
Although me and Matt have an adversarial relationship. Generally online, I do consider him a friend, and I consider him one of the best writers in the community today.
For sure, we're like Bruce Wayne and Harvey Dent before the accident with the acid.
Yeah, and I'm definitely Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, you would be Bruce Wayne.
He is a great writer, a great editor, and
I throw the acid in my face and I turn into Ethan.
And no matter what people say, he has a great amount of talent, not only just in writing, but in production as well. He currently runs 2 channels, and he does a good job with both of them. One is a wrestling channel for the Portland area, and it's history, and then the other
Testosterone overload.
Exactly. The other is his comic review channel, which he reviews classic comics generally.
Crypto Comics.
And Crypto Comics, he does a great job, a lot of fun, and he does often very sexy books that I really gravitate to.
You want to hear something freaking awesome that I'm going to review? Hopefully I'll get to it next week. We're knee deep in getting ready to launch this campaign.
Right.
But I've already got it done. I've already got it recorded. I already have it edited. I just have not released it yet. I pulled out my Avengers #1, first printing. No joke. And I read the whole thing for everybody.
Wow.
So if you've never seen an Avengers #1, that's a good place to do it. You know what else I got coming up, Jimmy? To be honest with you, I got a Wolverine #1 also. I think you'll like that.
I would. In fact, I own that Wolverine #1. It comes from the era where I really was invested in comics far more than I am now. I was a big Marvel fanboy, to be honest. And now I'm not so much.
I got one more though, Jimmy.
Go ahead.
New Mutants #97.
Oh boy. Oh,
first
boy.
appearance of Domino. And
yep.
Domino.
Who's the guy? Who's the guy in red again?
Who's the guy in red?
Spider-Man. No, that's not it. Deadpool. That's his name.
Well, that one guy.
Well, New Mutants '98 is Deadpool's first appearance.
Oh, excuse me. Did I say '97? I meant '98.
Talk about yourself. I got to deal with something real quick.
It's been a long day. It's been a long day for Matthew Merce.
It's a valuable comic book, though.
It is, yeah.
Me and my brothers classic wrestling.
Dude, I gotta tell you something though. I'm excited for the wrestling. On your other channel. Me and Matt, we're gonna be working on something together. I don't know how much we can talk about, but we're gonna be doing something together soon. And
I'll tell you, man, we're trying to convince Bruce Hart, world famous professional wrestling trainer, Bruce Hart, trainer of legends, to get off of Blog Talk Radio and get onto YouTube, so that fans can interact a lot more thoroughly with Bruce and ask questions.
And I really want to talk to Bruce, and I can't wait to ask him some questions. And then on my channel, just to chill a little bit, I want to do a wrestling program on my channel in Rebel Comics, just shooting the breeze about wrestling in general. But AEW, they start their broadcast on October the 3rd on TNT, and that's going to be a show I'm going to be covering quite a bit.
I grew up watching the old WWF stuff.
So what is that new? I'm not a total aficionado of wrestling. What was AEW?
All Elite Wrestling, kind of headed up by the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes. They started up their own promotion. They're backed by a man named Tony Khan, who owns an NFL team and a couple of teams over in England that for English football. So they got some money behind them, and they've had a few pay-per-views that they've done, All In and Double or Nothing and things like that, with huge successes, selling out buildings wherever they've been. And they are basically, I wouldn't say the competition for WWE yet, but they certainly have been on WWE's radar. They lost Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose went over to AEW. They just signed, they signed Chris Jericho to AEW. They got Awesome Kong in AEW. Now they have Christopher Daniels. Their talent roster just keeps growing and growing and growing. And it's just exciting time in wrestling if you want an alternative to the WWE programming that's been happening lately.
That's cool. Again, like I know that a lot of wrestling fans have said that the WWE has gotten stale. I don't know. Again, like I'm not one of those big fans of wrestling, but I have on occasion taken the chance to look at it, and I would have to say that compared to the Attitude Era and stuff that went before when I was a kid, it seems a little bit sanitized, I guess is a good way to call it.
Well, let's face it, Jim. You can't really have the Attitude Era the way it was right now. Could you imagine the Attitude Era if it was to air on TV right now with just the way the culture climate is? That oh my God, they'd be under fire every week.
This is true. I mean, because they did pull some crazy stuff back then,
right? Like all the gold dust stuff. Hitting the the whole the gay agenda with gold dust, that would not fly today, sir. Not at all. Like.
And now there was I don't know. I suppose with the divas today, maybe there's a little quote unquote objectification of form, but not. I don't think not to the degree that they were doing back in that day with girls running around and.
Well, I mean, you had Jerry Lawler screaming out puppies every 5 minutes. I don't think that would work out too well either. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, and they weren't talking about little dogs. No,
they weren't. They weren't.
I had a friend that tried out to be a WWE diva a couple of years ago, and she told me what the experience was like, and it's pretty intense. She had actually been like in the background as like a background actor in some of the skits.
Yep.
So when the call went out for the audition, she went in and she applied, and it was like almost like a week-long ordeal that she went through.
Yeah, no, there's a lot to becoming a WWE superstar. And often what they'll do is they'll go into towns and they'll call upon local talent to do just what you said, kind of like be extras in the background, act as security and stuff like that. And then they'll have a series of dark matches, which aren't televised or anything, but just to, give people tryouts and things of that nature.
This is not a realm that I have any idea what goes on. So you guys are wrestlers, wrestling fans. I'm going to take a look back in the chat, see what was going on. We have Jason Black showed up. Need a break from the ongoing Twitter debate. Time for Bob's and Vagine. Yes. We got 3 great artists on tonight.
I'm okay.
What was that?
I'm okay. I wouldn't say that I'm great.
Well, I think anybody who shows up and helps me out with this show is great, and I appreciate every last person who comes on. Larry and Matt as well. Even though Matt has gone quiet, he must be plotting as everybody thinks he does. And then we have Jason. He says, "Well, I mean, there's not a lot of Vagine here. Maybe someday when the Puritans stop taking over everything."
That's an awesome name. I'm gonna have to make a character and name it Vagine.
Vagine.
The Puritan Nerfer?
I don't know, but we'll figure something out.
Flammer says, check out Crypto's wrestling content on Testosterone Overload. Definitely. Also, check out Crypto Comics reviews on Crypto Comics. I would highly recommend both of those if those are your things. I really like Crypto Comics. I listen to him quite a bit.
If you back me, if you subscribe to me now, I won't dox you today.
Whoa!
Today only.
That's
Today only. One day only.
That's a promise from
I'm looking. Neostar already backs me, so Neostar's got this guy Neostar in the chat. He's trying to work on a comic. You know, he's getting there. I'm trying to convince him that he just needs to write that script, and it's taking him time. It's taking him time, but it's hard.
Here's the thing about writing scripts. It's a very intimidating process, right? But once you actually start, and you just have to, whether it's on a piece of paper, on a notepad, on a computer, or whatever word processor you're using, you just need to start. And once that's the hardest step. The rest of it,
the first page is the hardest page to write.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, learning how to have it in your head, and flow,
Learning how to give some
flow to flow, that sort of thing. I think is something that takes a little bit of practice, but yeah, I think getting past that first step,
But you have amazing editors like Slick Jimmy Love and Crypto Comics who can help you. No matter how shitty of a writer you are, these guys can help you become better.
People are too hard on themselves. It's like, I don't know if my idea is any good, or they have a hard time fleshing it out. And this is the kind of the piece of advice I would give to anyone that has an idea, but they're not sure really how to put the meat and bones on it is, I always start with the ending first. How do I want it to end? And then I can kind of piece the web together from there. But if you don't know how it's going to end and you're just kind of writing as you go, I think that adds a little bit more difficulty, because when you do that, you can end up writing yourself into a corner and block yourself,
It's the fun part. Write yourself in a corner and let your characters figure out how to get out of it.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, when you do write yourself in a corner, just take a left turn. Like I remember a book that said, if you ever get stumped, have a duck fly through your scene. I mean, again, you're not supposed to literally have that happen, but have something. Just take an obtuse angle at what you're doing, and then see where it goes. Just kind
The
of
best thing you can do is make your main character fail in the first act.
And
That's the best thing you can do.
anyway.
I got to take the ducks out of my book. Damn.
What if you're writing Howard the Duck? What do you
Well,
do
that's
then,
a little
Jimmy?
If you're writing Howard the Duck, then that would probably be his love interest. I don't know, but according to the movie, he can have a love interest with a human. So,
Daisy Duck, was that her name? Daisy Duck? Is that Donald's love interest?
Yeah, Daisy Duck, like Minnie Mouse, Daisy Duck, definitely. Oh yeah. Well,
See, my problem is I have the story that I want to do, and I actually pulled out a couple of scripts. I just don't have the technical skill that I want to get it done.
well, I mean, it's one of those things where I'm of the opinion that most beginning writers, if they're going to tackle it, probably should do an outline. Flying by the seat of your pants, or as they say, pantsing, is very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. So, yeah, set out an idea. Like, go from point A to point B to point, all through your arc to point C, and then figure that out, and then follow each scene. Think up a scene from the first part, and just kind of construct it. Now, each scene should have kind of its own little mini arc, and going from point to point, and that's where you kind of get your flow. And then you're looking for panels. I'm pretty meticulous. Matt's a little bit less so, but he often uses. Get off my laptop. I mean, Matt often goes off of scripts. Like, he's good at writing, very proficient in writing film scripts, but he translates those very well over into a comic strip. So the scenes can be visualized in such a way. Now, often in films, you will do what they call a storyboard, which in a way is like making a comic book of the film. Angles and shots and all that business, but they don't usually put any writing for the most part in those storyboards, because you have the script. If you kind of think of it that way, it becomes very much easier to kind of make your script that way, especially if you're an artist and you can do a little thumbnail or something with each one of those, and then extrapolate it out later on when you're starting to lay it down sequentially on a page. So it's one of those things that it's like anything else. You have to learn to have a skill at it, and then you have to, if you are a writer, quote unquote, working with collaboratively, with an artist, you kind of have to have this synchronicity, this gel of your ideas, and then let them run with things. Don't get too persnickety about things too much. Anyway, that's me diatribing. Let's go back to the.
Cool beans.
What was that?
Cool beans.
Oh.
Thanks for the advice.
8 people watching, 12 people likes. Thank you for the likes, and for those who are watching. Currently, we have Good Dog Press. Once again, Manny is in the chat. Jason Black. I'll try. What did you say? What are you saying, Jason? Here, Jason. Yeah, can't post any suggestion of a link because YouTube autocorrects my name. But look for me, and you'll find it. What link for what? What are we looking for? Okay. Yeah, I'm a pretty good artist myself. Drawing on demand in front of a live audience takes stones, brother. Oh, yeah. If you ever want to come on, Jason, give it a whirl.
Jimmy,
Yes, sir.
I wrote a script today that I want you to read when we're done here.
No, okay.
It's just a short story. It's a lone wolf story for the front of Legends of the Lone Wolf. Have you heard of Legends of the Lone Wolf? It's
Have I heard
available
of it?
on.
I have heard of it.
It's available on Indiegogo still. We just we hit our $6,000 stretch goal, which means we're going to add another story to the book. So now it's going to be like way over 80 pages, closer to like 100 pages for this book. It's only $20.
Nice.
Just heads up.
Everybody go out and back Legends of the Lone Wolf. I have
Right
already,
after you back Niobe.
and
back
I have
Legends.
backed the hardback version of Legends of the Lone Wolf. I'm very pleased to say that I'm looking forward to that.
I'm gonna be honest. If you got $100 to burn on comics right now, you're gonna want to get Niobe. You're gonna want to get Legends of the Lone Wolf, and you're gonna want to get Skunk Girl by Good Dog Press.
I second all that.
That's yep. I third it.
If you got
too.
a few bucks left over, and you haven't backed Slick Jimmy's Little Girl Lethal, definitely you're gonna want that. But you're gonna want to put it on the top shelf of the closet so the kids can't get to it.
This is true. You might want to put it in the back of the closet, behind your your hidden pistol or whatever is up there. Yeah. Trusty Sidekick is here. Trusty, why aren't you in here, man? Here's another like. Thank you. Appreciate that. Neil Star Productions. I'm always up for a wrestling comic, and that's a shout out for probably Matt because he has 2 wrestling comics currently in the works.
Boy, Neostar. I want to say his real name, but I don't know. I don't want him to get in trouble.
Yeah, well, we'll leave it at Neil Star. Good Dog Press says thanks for the plug. You're welcome. Matt says you're welcome. Neil Star Productions. I'm looking forward to seeing Megawatt in action. Yeah, and
You should be.
To let you know, Megawatt is a wrestler. He's a luchador, and he's fighting
Luchadores enmascarados.
the vampires of the sun. The art is done by our good friend Josh Spencer from Down Under. Josh Spencer of Spencer Tunes, who could not be with us today because apparently he's not at his house. He's out gallivanting, probably with some young lady somewhere.
Really?
And that's what he said.
What?
In Sydney, I would assume.
But wait, I have art. I have art to show Jimmy.
Then show it.
Check this out. The people have not had a chance to see this. I'm pretty excited about this. This is Josh Spencer's amazing art.
Let me share. One moment.
Versus the vampires of the sun.
Hold it there. Let me share.
Yep. Whenever you're ready, Jim, you just say the word. I'll just keep talking about it.
All right, there we go.
This is a book. It's for kids aged 8 to 80. So, all ages Halloween fun because, I'm of the opinion that little boys are not getting a lot of content that teaches them how to grow up to be brave and strong men. And Megawatt versus the Vampires of the Sun is designed to do just that and teach them not to be afraid of the things that go bump in the night and to show them that even though you're an underdog, you can still become a hero and stop an evil vampire menace from invading your town and kidnapping beautiful young women.
That's a great page right there, man. Looks nice.
This is a great page, right?
Yeah. So Josh is doing all the rendering plus the color.
He does it all, but now if we are lucky enough to raise about 30 grand, I will hire a colorist to save us a lot of time because I would rather get this book out like a month early than have Josh have to do everything.
Yeah, that makes sense. A lot of work. I think that this color is actually pretty good though. So
Josh's colors are actually just as good as his artwork.
Yeah, I like this. This panel right here is very noir. It's got a lot of negative space there in the background.
Yeah.
Got some effects with the bubbling. Very nice, very nice. Good stuff.
I'll show you something else though, Jim.
Better
Check
not
this
be
one
porn.
out. No, I would never show that. I make books for kids until I start making horror books, and then I'll be making books for adults.
Some wrestling going on here.
Yeah, this is what's really cool, Jimmy, is you can actually have yourself drawn into this comic book as a referee. And you can you'll be in a lot of panels too. It's not just these panels here. There's like this wrestling match lasts for a couple pages.
So what you're saying is the person who buys this tier is going to have to provide references.
They're going to have to share a picture of their face and their body so that we can make it look just like them. Of course, we'll make them look awesome. You know, like if you're a fat guy like Jimmy, we'll make you look a little thinner, make you look a little buffer. Make you look cool.
Oh boy.
And
like
you know what else is awesome though?
It's just saying.
You can let's see. You can also be drawn in as a vampire. This is pretty fun. You can be drawn as a vampire.
Yeah, there we go.
You can be drawn in as the ring announcer. So if you're a wrestling fan, you can get in here as a wrestler, or if you're a vampire fan, you can get drawn as a vampire.
Nice.
And I don't think you can beat that. I don't think there's another book out there that's offering such a range of pictures. And if you're a fan of old school National Wrestling Alliance wrestling, you're going to want to check out megawattcomic.com when we finally launch, because there you'll be able to actually get yourself drawn into the secret comic book, The Suplexing Sleuths, featuring 4 of the legends of Portland wrestling, like Playboy Buddy Rose, Superfly Jimmy Snuka. The list goes on and on.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to run back to our artist for a second.
You should do that.
We have a booty right in our face from Humble Marty. Very nice.
Wow.
Yeah. She's very much into the hourglass now. I think she's taken the cheesecake to heart. Our Humble Marty. Our shot of estrogen that's always on the panel. We're so glad to have her here.
Love estrogen.
Illustrator Monk. Illustrator Monk is putting color now. Very nice. Very nice. I'm very pleased with this vaporous thing that's going around and wreathing our nubile young lass, our elven girl. Very good. Very good. Going over to Jesse. He's working out the contours here. Yeah. Kind of nice. I like it. Good. And let's go back to the chat for a moment. One moment. Dig it. Let's see. Can everybody? We got 9 people watching, 13 likes. Thank you very much. Flit says, everybody go check out Jason Black's art on Twitter. It's damn good work. Yeah, go check out Jason's work, and maybe he will take commissions. Who knows? Yeah. And good dog press. He's talking to Marty. Go Marty. That's what he says. Man, he says, "Go Marty, go."
Go Marty. Go Marty. Go
Marty, go.
Neostar Productions. Damn, AEW got Dean Ambrose. Yes, he did. Jason Black says, "Oh, cool. The line works, even though it's added space." Yeah. Crypto Comics, become Crypto Knight. Join me for awesome 90s reviews and totally original comic books. Indeed. Go check out Crypto Comics. For those who are in the chat or subsequently watch this broadcast, we got about an hour and, excuse me, we got about 45 minutes. Apologies. About 45 minutes. Yeah. And,
So I too have new artwork, Jim.
you do?
I do, sir. You might have seen this, but I don't.
Let's look what you got. All right. Ooh, that's some pretty detailed stuff.
It's a riot, literally.
Well, we're very familiar with those as of late, sadly.
Yeah, I never kind of shy away from tackling a social issue in Niobe, but I try and do it neutral, if that makes sense to you.
That's very nice. Who's the artist that's doing this? Who's the
Samir and Simone, a fella in Brazil.
It's very good work.
And he's the new interior artist for at least the next 2 issues of Niobe. It's a heavy story happening here. This isn't what's on Indiegogo right now. This is what's coming next. And this will, we're going to try and get this in color.
That'd be very nice if it were in color, but it does look good even if it's not in color. It's a very descriptive scene you got going on there.
Yeah, he did a wild job on it, man. It looks pretty intense. And 2-part miniseries, so it's going to get even more intense. I'll show you one more sort of page as a tease. So, we got this whole riot going down. Of course, someone has to get involved with this. And there's that someone.
That's a pretty, that's, can you blow it up a little bit?
Yeah, sure, brother.
Let's get that first panel, see what was going on. This art reminds me very much of kind of the style of 2080 back in the day.
Ooh, good call. I love this artist. Like, this is the guy that, man, it's going to take Larry's stories to the next level. It's going to take it like 3 levels.
Yeah, it's really quite good. I like it.
Larry just earned like 300 XP for this comic.
Yeah, it does. It does have that vibe of 2080. It really does. Very good, man. Very nice.
We're half done. I mean, we got 9 pages inked and drawn. Ready to go. This one here, I really like. This was the last one I'll show you for now. You guys remember, I've worked with 2 different artists trying to get this bike right and the scene right. I think this guy nailed it.
Very good. Yeah, it looks great. Wow. Good stuff. Oh. I'm pleased with that. I'm going to go back to the artist real quick. Check in the artist. Ooh, got lots of color going on with Humble Marty. Very nice. She's got the mask on, making sure that stuff gets filled in. Yeah. Humble Marty has a distinct style. It's all her own. And, very colorful, always. We got Illustrator Monk, and he's currently, for some reason, in the black. Don't know what's going on there.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, we got his logo. Oh, there we
go.
Oh, nice. Oh, and he's even adding a Gandalf down there, going, whoa! I like my work. And then we go over to Jesse. Jesse's working on the young lady. Very nice. Very nice. Good job. Let's go check the chat real quick. One second. I'm going to stop sharing.
Stop sharing, Jimmy.
I know.
You're selfish.
Hey, do we have Professor Geek in here? We do have Professor Geek. We have 12 people watching, 14 likes. Thank you, Professor Geek.
Whoa.
We should go and look up Professor Geek's book because we have one of his artists on there. So let's check that out.
The other night I had a friend who was listening to a John Dillard stream, and I could hear it through the headphones, and I thought he was listening to Professor Geek. It was really interesting. I couldn't figure out why Professor Geek decided to be such a dickhead. Excuse me, a dill hole. Just being honest. It's just
being a peckerhead?
Yeah, peckerhead. It's a straight peckerwood.
Oh boy.
All the heat comes to me. Don't worry about it. All the heat comes to me. Professor Geek's awesome. Dillard, not so much. Whatever.
All right, let's go and look at this. Let me go back, and I need to start sharing once again, since now I have the stuff that I need. Boom, and so here's Tales from the Stacks.
Oh yeah, Tales from the Stacks.
For some reason, I don't know what's going on here. Well, let's go down. So Tales from the Stacks has 3 different stories in it, as I believe. And so each one of those stories is represented, I think, by one of these young ladies. So Professor Geek knows what sells, just like I do. So very pleased with that. And which story are you doing?
I am doing. Here, I'll give you a little preview here. If my camera can work for a sec.
Let me go back to you real quick. And yeah, let's see what it's got. It's taking a little bit of time to boot up.
You just sold a copy, Professor Geek.
Oh, we just lost our good man Monk. He must have pressed a button, or he must have dropped. He'll be back.
Just picked up a copy for myself, a digital copy.
That's good, man. I backed a specific one because I like the look of it. I don't know if it's still open or not, but we're gonna look at it.
I'm gonna be honest now, Jim. Is it all right if I'm honest?
Sure, be honest.
I'm known for being honest. I didn't get the physical copy because it's black and white. I was really hoping it would raise enough money and make it in color. I like to buy color books, you know. If I'm gonna get the physical, it's just got to be color. I'm a stickler like that.
Well, I don't.
But, you know, I love Professor Geek, so to throw him $10 ain't nothing, right?
I don't see. This is the one I bought right here. You can see what I'm circling. Has this cover, and it's all been bought up. So that's the one that's sold out. But that's the one I got. And I also got a T-shirt with this same young lady on the front because she is very alluring, and I think that'll be a fun tee to have. Now you can see these different characters here. Yeah, and there's I think these are bookmarks that come with a certain stretch goal.
So the real question is, since we have Professor Geek in the chat, Professor Geek, is Tales from the Stack Volume 2 going to be color?
I think because of the nature of the stories, they're horror. The black and white necessarily is okay. It's fairly noir. So
No, I understand why he did it. He's made a good explanation with the Twilight Zone film, but I'm just asking, what's going to happen in the sequel?
Well,
Give people a little taste. Is there going to be a stretch goal that allows us to get color? Think about it, Geek. Think about it, Geek.
Maybe if we hit, well, let's see, he's at 19,000. So maybe if you could double that, get it to 40.
Yeah. 30.
Who knows?
30.
30?
It was just the cover really drew me in. The big time. Both covers, both covers.
I'm gonna
as far as the Malin one was super sexy.
I'm gonna dox. His name is Michael Kreitzer, and he actually is truly he's an educator, a professor.
What's he a professor of?
I believe of literature or history or something.
Professor of awesomeness.
Professor of awesomeness. That's professor of cryptozoology or whatever.
Look at all that Fox News that they want you to watch.
Yeah,
What's Hannity think about Professor Geek? Let's find out. We should make deep fakes where just all the team from Fox News is just talking about how great Professor Geek is.
I like Fox News.
Me too.
Professor Geek was nice enough to let me supersede his broadcast tonight, which is I appreciate that. He did me a pimp out there on Twitter, so I do appreciate that. You got Professor Geek saying quite a bit in here in the chat. Yeah, let's see what he has to say. I need to add Illustrator Monk's great new winter pinup to the campaign page. You do, and he says. Oh, I guess he's talking to you, Matt. Understandable, but we chose black and white to evoke the Twilight Zone. Yeah. So, yeah, I think
this is the pinup here. Sorry, I got dropped from the call.
Okay, let's go back to you real quick. Go back to Illustrate Monk. Very nice. Very nice. That looks like a lithograph, dude. That's awesome. That is very nice. For those of you who don't know, Illustrator Monk is awesome, and I just want to make that everybody know that. Let's take a look at Humble. Ooh, Humble's adding even more color. Very nice, very nice. Going over to Jesse. Jesse's giving us a little bit of boxing in there. Oh, nice, cool.
What is the subject here tonight?
You didn't hear the subject?
No.
What's wrong with you, Matt? This is Lascivious, Libidinous, and Lewd Libations Lubricating the Lusty Loins of Lush, Libertine Lassies.
Oh, okay.
And the rules is transform an ugly female into a gorgeous scantily clad woman from drinking a wild potion or concoction given to her by a wizard or mad scientist. And the twist, the potion makes her very amorous. Color as much as you can. That's basically the rules. So that's what we got going on.
Oh, great.
I'm going to stop sharing as it gets annoying after a while. All right. Oh, I white boxed a little bit on Illustrator Monk. Sorry about that. It's
Okay.
not the worst thing to look at. So we got a Humble Marty putting even more color. Humble Marty loves her color, and her color is continually getting better, in my opinion. But she's starting to really play with the palettes. So
we got what, about half hour left to go here?
we're sitting at 20, 23 plus 10, so 33 minutes.
Damn, Illustrator, just bro, this is amazing.
Yeah, he's quite gifted.
What's your book, Illustrator Monk? You got to have a book you're doing all the time, right?
Yeah, I'm doing Tales from the Stacks.
Oh, you are. What's your book after that?
A story I'm working on called "To the Marrow."
When should we expect that to hit Indiegogo?
Probably next year.
Oh wow. Okay. Long ways to go then.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing everything on it. So.
Okay.
One of these days, if we keep doing this, if I can figure out OBS, the more of these cheesecake challenge that you do, you should just put together a little book from those, man, and just sell that. I think people would dig that because you got a lot of fun things that you've done.
Yeah, we could do that too. Definitely.
Yeah.
And I mean, because it's obvious on Twitter that people, every time you post something, you get over 100 likes almost every time. So people like what you're doing. It's not a...
Yeah, I just have to figure out the right time to post because it depends on when I post.
Well, I mean, I think that even when you're not doing the Cheesecake Challenge, you could add whatever you're working on that's not, obviously proprietary. I mean, just stick it in there and have fun with it. You do great work, and I think that there's an audience out there for it. So, let's see what we got in here in the chat. Neil Star Production says, I should have gotten a degree in literature. Pablo Romero says, most of the comics in my collection are black and white. So he's defending the black and white. About the color, he says we're going to put a pin in that for later. That's Professor Geek. And so we'll see what happens. For some reason, Flit Amrat says Tucker Carlson, deep fake or get the F out. So Neil Star Productions. I used to be too biased to watch Fox News. So apparently he was a MSN.
Tucker Carlson always looks like he just poked the Pillsbury Doughboy when he finds something essentially very funny.
He often has that look like, what the is, like he's just got this confused expression on his face when somebody's confronting him with complete nonsense. And it is funny to see his expressions. Jason Black says 33 minutes. What is the subject here tonight? I think we went over that, but yeah, it's basically a girl taking a potion to make herself more lovely and thereby gets herself more amorous. So that's it. Then it was color. Just to sum up. 33 minutes left. Perfect time for Manny to jump in. It's true. Manny could jump in if he had a computer. Professor Geek says, stick it in there and have fun with it. Slick Jimmy, 2019. Yeah, that's usually my line. I say something. Could take him as a double entendre. Neil Star Productions at Crypto Comics. At the very least, I need to have something down so I can prepare some preview pages. This is true. All right, that's the end of the chat feed that I've read. Any of you guys have anything to add currently, so that you're not getting bored of my voice?
I'm awesome.
Yeah,
You want to hear an idea from the story I have?
sure.
Yeah.
Imagine if you cross Conan the Barbarian with Cinderella.
Keep going.
I
I'm not
call-
quite sure where they cross.
I call it
Oh,
Cinderella. He spells Cinder as a Cynderella.
Oh,
And the story is,
does he have a fairy godfather?
oh yeah, he's a huge barbarian. And Cinderella is like this really hot Frank Frazetta style barbarian girl.
Oh, oh.
And so you take like all the aspects of the original Cinderella, like you have her evil twin sisters, so they're like these evil like goth barbarian chits and stuff like that. And like those huge barbarian tournaments, and you know, she's trying to reclaim her kingdom. It's this idea I had. I was just kind of floating it around.
Well, flesh it out. No pun intended. But yeah, it's not a terrible idea. Oh, look who we have coming in at the 11th hour. Manny of Good Dog Press. He must have figured out how to get his computer working.
No, I'm on my phone.
Oh. So are you going to jump in, or are you just going to sit here and chat with us? Because either way, it's fine.
YouTube star since I was goaded into coming in.
What happened to your computer, man? Did it blow up on your face?
No, I just don't have any internet, so all I'm doing is just coloring some Skunk Girl pages right now.
What, did somebody cut your lines? What happened?
No, sometimes we got really bad connections up here. I don't know why. It's been always horrible.
You're in Honolulu. It should be perfect.
No, it's funny because my internet sucks, but my sister's internet the next house over is great. It's
Do you have
weird.
different providers?
No, it's the same provider, I think.
You guys have a state provider?
We have this. I think we have the same provider.
What are you communists?
Whoa.
I disavow. Oh,
Do they bring you bread? Do you have to go stand in bread lines, or do they bring you bread to the door every bread and milk, bread and water?
so mean. So mean.
They bring you a lay every morning. It's awesome.
Oh, I love being laid every day.
Every day.
Nothing wrong with that.
Helikilikimaka, whatever.
Oh, that's Merry Christmas. What the heck?
I know what it is. I'm aware. Let's go back to the chat. Let's see what we got going on here. We got Flit Amaranth talking. Flit Amaranth, hot barbarian women. Go on. I think he's down with that, Jesse.
I need to flesh it out some more.
What was that?
I need to flesh it out some more. I had you write down
Definitely flesh it out.
synopsis.
Make it nice and curvy, very voluptuous.
Mhm.
Barbarian story. She doesn't have to wear a lot of clothes either. That's how barbarians roll in fantasy. In real life, they usually are completely armored. But whatever. Manny is the third person I know of who's having internet problems. Conspiracy? That's from Flit. KG is in the chat. KG, what's up, man? KG is one of like the right hand man of Manny. Helps him do a lot of stuff. He's like the mod for Manny's streams. Very cool.
He is known as the Mighty Wrench.
He is the Mighty Wrench. The Mighty Wrench for me is Flit Amaranth. If I could give him a bigger wrench, I would, but I can't.
A bigger wrench?
A bigger wrench, yeah.
I want a bigger wrench.
I would like red wrenches because I everything's blue, like blue check marks, blue wrenches. I want them red. I want people to notice them. Help Manny pay his internet bill by betting the Unbreathable Skunk Girl on now on Indiegogo. That's Flit Amaranth. That's our Flit Amaranth.
Thanks, Whit.
Neostar Productions. I'm always happy to see more barbarian women. I am as well. I am very, very happy with that. Professor Geek, if you could each choose one copyrighted character to write or draw for, who would you choose and why? That's a good question. I think
That's a hard question.
I've always said this. I really dig Pitt from the 1990s, done by Dale Keown. If I were going to do a male character, if I were going to do a female character, I'd love to do something either Tigra or Nova. Frankie Ray. It was like a kind of in the Silver Surfer sphere. So,
what are we talking about? Characters we would like to write for?
yeah.
Give me Magic from the X-Men. I'll do a 4-part Magic.
That's another one, man. Magic. I'd do Magic in a second, man.
I would like to write a Youngblood screenplay. I have a great idea for a Youngblood movie.
That would be cool.
As far as a solo character, lately I've been really getting into Zen, Intergalactic Ninja. Bro, this is like a Ninja Turtle waiting to happen. It's like got that kind of strength, and like the Ninja Turtle IP. And I'm just kind of shocked that Zen has not made a comeback because he deserves to.
That's maybe you should make an overture to somebody, see if that can happen.
Maybe after Megawatt becomes a raving success.
Yeah, I've said I wish I could get a hold of Dale Keown. I would spend money. Might even go into debt to get that IP to do it. But I mean, if anybody wonders what all that noise is, it's Pioneer Day here in Utah, and they're still letting off. Well, Pioneer Day was yesterday, but they're still letting off fireworks. So Paulo Romero says KG is Manny Muscle, and KG says, "Nah, Pablo, I don't really have to do much. Everyone is pretty good on Manny streams. Yeah. Many streams are pretty mellow, chill stream, as he likes to say.
It's a chill stream, but you guys need to tune in tomorrow night for the first 5 minutes. It might not be too chilly. Okay.
Gonna flamethrower a little bit.
When's that?
In the law.
There needs something needs to be addressed tomorrow.
Oh. Well, you can keep us in suspense. I kind of have an idea, but I'll leave it to you to address. Currently, we have Zach Hawkins as well. He says, "I have a question as well. How we doing tonight, folks? Still listening at work. Carry on as you work. Yeah, we're doing pretty good, I think. Currently, we got about 22 minutes before we are done with the drawing portion of the show. Pablo Romero art." I only know of Zen Intergalactic Ninja as a NES game. Is that what that is, Matt?
Zen Intergalactic Ninja did have a Nintendo game. He started as a comic book character and was really he was, I don't want to say he was redesigned, he was revamped by Bill Mouse and made into just kind of, just so cool. He was just so cool. I don't know what to say. You're going to have to wait for my reviews. I'm going to review a few Zen books here over the course of the next month. So stay tuned to Crypto Comics for that because I love Zen. I'm going to review Zen and Young Zen. So they're going to be fun too. You're going to have a great time with me and all the voices that I do. I'm the man of 30 voices. I want to say 1,000.
Jason Black says Professor Geek wasn't asking me, but give me Witchblade or the Darkness. That's who Jason Black would like to do is Witchblade or the Darkness, which are great choices actually. Yeah.
Neostar wants Savage Dragon. That would be really awesome too, man.
It's been so bastardized over the years. I guess it's his IP to do whatever he wants, but it's definitely not what it started out as.
Give me America.
Give you America?
I'll do Captain America. I'll bring them back to the
Captain America. Yeah, Captain America or America would be nice to bring them to some semblance of sanity.
Shadowhawk would be another good one to bring back for a little 4-issue miniseries.
Yeah, that's good too. There's a lot of different characters. I like Silver Sable.
Yeah.
I like Jocasta. I think the idea of she has all kinds of powers that she never uses because she's such a shy character. But that would be cool. I like that character. There's a lot of, within Marvel, I'm not a real fan entirely of DC. The cast of characters is limited in my knowledge of scope of knowledge. So there you go. Professor Geek says Witchblade, nice. Jason Black, definitely. Neil Star Productions. If I had one copyrighted character to write for, well, give me Savage Dragon, superpowered policeman, right up my alley. Bring justice back to the dragon. Yeah, there we go. Zach Hawkins, Crypto is truly a man of many voices. Check out his comic reviews for nice sampling. Indeed. Matt does have the ability to tell a story and make it come alive because of his ability to do that. Whereas I stumble over my own words. Matt is very glib, usually with reading through things and adding a little bit of panache and flair to the story itself. Pablo Romero says Terminator. I guess that's the one he'd like to write for. Neo Star Production, RoboCop versus Savage Dragon. That's an interesting idea. Or the Terminator, yeah.
I have like the complete classic run of Witchblade.
Yeah, you have the very first stuff, yeah.
Yeah, the very first run of the Witchblade, and I have like all of the original first runs of the Darkness.
Yeah, that stuff is very beautiful art.
Yeah,
very well done. I believe I have those as well, hidden away somewhere in a long box. So, yeah. One of those things. 13 watching currently, 14 likes. Appreciate the likes. Very nice. Excellent.
Early Witchblade days, and I have a ton of them too. I don't have the full run, but I've been working on it. Michael Turner, was the man. He really brought Witchblade to life.
Yeah, Jason Black says that it started out so strong, and it did. Have you guys seen Witchblade lately? Yeah, it's not the same.
Is that the name of the book, Witchblade Lately?
It's very lately.
No, it's a very toned down Witchblade. A new woman takes on the mantle of Witchblade, and it's not sexy at all.
Nope. No. They've decided just to abandon any sort of sexiness because male gaze bad.
Male gaze, man.
Yeah, I think I stopped reading it in 2010. That's the last time I stopped. Last time I read an issue of it.
Well, there was still stuff going about then, stuff has just changed. People are afraid of offending the women somehow. And,
People are afraid of boobs.
They're afraid of boobs. They're afraid of butts. They're afraid of sexiness. They're afraid of. It seems they're afraid of female sexuality. That somehow.
I love female sexuality.
Yeah, it seems like they're afraid of all of that, and they're afraid of male presence.
Someday their hormones will kick in.
What was that?
Someday their hormones will kick in.
Someday, yeah. Someday their balls will drop, and that stuff. You're getting me off on things that I actually will talk controversially about.
We don't want to steer it that way. We got 15 minutes left?
And one of them is feminism. You give me that topic, I tend to go off a little bit. Yeah, we got about 16 minutes left currently.
I want to give a shout out to Shinobi Raccoon for doing this cute little a drawing of Niobe, and I think this is Cherry Blossom, his OC.
Yep.
Nice, very good.
This was done
Are
during.
you showing that? Are you showing that?
Yeah, it's
done
during the draw and quartered, and this was like one of the at-home sort of drawings that you could just kind of tag the group in, and it's one of my favorites that was actually done during the whole thing.
Very nice.
I don't know, there's something about it. Looks a lot of feeling to it,
Yep. I think I really think that maybe the day of American comics is slowly coming to a close, except for maybe indies. I don't think the big franchises, they'll be out there, but they'll be just disparate and broken and no continuity. And people will just gravitate to things like manga and European albums. That may be just how it is going to happen. It makes me sad, but it is what it is because of the cultural zeitgeist.
Climate.
Yeah, climate. Yeah, it's just what it is. Let's look at Humble now that she's speaking. Woo, fun. Very, very colorful. Nice. Illustrator Monk. Are you getting done there, or are you adding more color?
I'm doing some ballpoint shading, just some light shading.
So we're just gonna stay with the color on the vapor, and it's very nice. Let's go over to Jesse. Jesse has added much color. Very good. Nice. Turning very good. Very good. Excellent. I'm actually extremely warm right now because it's warm here in where I'm living, and I've turned off the fan. And so
Unbelievable. You turn that fan off for the people. That's so kind of you.
I turned the fan off for the people, not for you. Because
No, I know you didn't do it for me.
I get yelled at repeatedly by people in Hangouts because I have the fan on.
And you flog your cat repeatedly too.
Yeah, I flog my cat. I flog a cat. Apparently, Twitch thoughts have been throwing cats, and that's either been getting them kicked off Twitch or not getting kicked off Twitch, depending on how large their boobs are.
The video,
yeah. I saw that on Twitter, and it just seems funny that people get upset. I mean, unless you throw the cat into the wall, the cats are going to be fine by just tossing them.
It was funny. She lifted it right up and just kind of whoop over the head, right?
Yeah, and then people are freaking out. You're abusing your cat. I'm like, the cat is fine. I don't know how many times I've tossed my cat and just tossed it away, and it just lands.
The cat probably likes it too.
They're freaking cats. I mean, it's not like I'm throwing it like a baseball. If you are doing stuff like that, well, then that's stuff. But usually I just toss it away, and the cat's fine.
That's another example of how sensitive the world is right now, and eventually, at least my hope is that this will get to a breaking point where you can't do nothing without being called out online, to the point where everyone's just going to stop doing it because it's so ridiculous.
Right. I mean, I've been having animals most of my life, and if I can tell you one thing, tossing your cat a little distance not going to hurt it. Promise you. To all you millennials and Gen Zs, if you're not sure about that, I can assure you right now, tossing your cat, a little bit is not going to hurt your cat. Now, if you tantrum and throw it against the wall, or like drop it out of a window, say a 4th-story building, that will hurt your cat. Don't do that. Trying to educate. Coming generations.
Teach them.
Oh, look, this is very nice, Marty. You're putting bubbles and all kinds of fun things. Nice. Good job. Illustrator Monk. Are we complete, Illustrator Monk? Is it done?
Yeah, I think I'm done.
Ah, very nice.
Ooh, nice.
Very good. Are you getting close here, Jesse?
As close as it would be for the competition. Like usually, when I start these paintings, I'll work on them for like 8 to 10 hours. But
That's fine.
For 2 hours.
That's fine. I mean, it is what it is when it comes to this short time period. You've done a good job.
The more I do these, the better and faster I get.
I mean, you are allowed to work on them afterwards. I'm not like one of those people that's hard and fast about those kind of rules. If you feel like you want to add more touch-ups later on and then post it in the chat, then yeah, that'd be great. Are you in the chat? Did I put you in the chat?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go over here. What we got? Where are we sitting at? We got 11 minutes. 11 minutes. So for those two who are still working, work on it hard. What are you doing, Manny? Are you working on a Breathable Skunk Girl currently?
I am working on Skunk Girl right now. I'm working on the second to the last page coloring.
Is there anything you can share with us? Oh, yeah, you're on the phone. Never mind.
No, this is total spoiler.
A total spoiler? Oh.
Total spoiler. Don't want to show this page. This is very crucial.
I did show you guys something earlier. For the new people in here, I will take the time to share that. I fell asleep earlier tonight, and that's what caused me to be a little bit discombobulated getting the show started. But I was working on something, and I will try to share it with you right now. We're doing the trade dress, so I'm going to zoom this in a little bit. And that's the background. I will put the titles over the top of this. But yeah, that's for a little girl lethal. And so you can kind of see that a little bit. Let me move this thing out of the way. And more fireworks outside. So you can kind of see this. Those are her blades and her guns. And there's the Ankh that represents the cosmic entity that is bonded with her. So yeah, Yeah, that'll be on the wraparound cover. You see Sugar right there spinning around with her blades. And then if we go over here, you can see our father X, and he's doing his business too. So yeah, that's something I was working on earlier and fell asleep because I'm a boomer. And yeah.
Old man.
I'm an old man. Old man.
Wake up. Wake up.
What? What? What?
Wake the hell up, Doug.
Well, what we got now? We got 9 minutes. 9 minutes. Let's go back to the chat real quick. And let's see, we got Pablo Romero says, "I'm a millennial. Sadly, this is sad. I feel for your generation. I don't say that all the generations of the, I mean all the people in the generation of millennials or Generation Z are paid up elks with an entitlements and complex, but there is a certain percentage that is. So I commend those that don't have it and see the absolute insanity and buffoonery that is within those generations, and I'm fully willing to own up that my own Gen Z had its own peccadillos itself. We were a bunch of slackers until we figured our shit out.
I fall right at the tail end of Gen X.
Yeah, I'm right in the center of it, so I'm definitely Gen X. I'm not any buffer zones. It says Zach Hawkins, Slick Jimmy, you don't have to turn the fan off, crawl under the blanket. You just need to cover the microphone and yeah, that would work with my normal like phone mic, but if I have this Blue Yeti on, it picks up everything, so it doesn't quite work. But thanks for giving me a little bit of leeway. But I know what would happen if I had this thing on. It would definitely pick up the fan. Yeah. Okay. Neil Star Productions. I heard there was a crossover between Witchblade and Battle of the Planets. Image Comics meets anime. I've never heard of that, but hey, look, Pencil for Life is in the Brad Ashworth of Pencil for Life is in the chat. Nice, 13 people watching currently, 14 likes. Yeah, how you doing, Brad? Why didn't you come and draw for me? I'm just wondering.
He was drawn on fan edition, drawn and quartered.
Oh yeah.
Sold you out.
Okay, fine. Do that way. Trying to get on the big show.
Bastard.
The bastard, you bastard. Good.
I stand on Brad.
Well, let's see how much we got. We got 6 minutes. 6 minutes and counting down to the final things. Yes. Brad says, "LOL, I sold you out." Yeah, you did. Brad and I live in the same town. He used to work at my local comic shop. He quit, and now I don't see him very much anymore, except in the virtual realm, because that's how it is. We live in a fairly large burg. It's not a small town.
There's a lot of large YouTubers that live here in Austin.
Yeah, there's quite a few people, quite a few Texans I know over there. Locally, we have a lot of different people around here that are creatives, just a different way. You would be surprised how many YA authors live in my valley alone, and that have actually been published and sold a number of books. This is like a hub for YA authors. Just
Yeah, like
what it is.
Lord Doomcock lives here in Austin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Doomcocks.
Have you ever heard of Angry Joe? The video game?
Yeah, I've heard of Angry Joe.
Me and him get a haircut at the same place.
He's an interesting guy, that Angry Joe.
Yeah, I ran into him there one time.
All right. Pencil for Life says, "Doing good, Flint. Just eating some dinner." Imagine that. All right. Let's go back and look at the panel. Okay, we got Humble. You about done, Humble? Is that you're almost finished?
That's about it. Yep.
All right. Looking good. Very nice. Turned in kind of a 60s Barbarella-ish thing. I like that. I'm feeling that pretty good. And I got Illustrator Monk with an elven young lady who's apparently, when she took the potion, it did away with her clothes, which I really don't have a problem with that. Yeah, nice. And then we go over here to kind of a Grecian look from Jesse. Very, very much like a siren or, something. Yeah, I'm
Think
feeling
about
that.
that for tonight.
What was that?
I think it's finished for tonight.
All right, cool. Well, if everybody is finished, then I think Flit, you can put up the poll if you haven't done. I know that you probably do because man, you're on the stick as opposed to me, who's just not quite ever has his shit together. So yeah. If you're ready to do that, Flit, please put that in there. We have 14 people watching, 15 likes. 14 is the largest amount we've had for the night. That's very nice. I appreciate it. If anybody wants to say hi, who's listening, besides those who already said hi, they can also do whatever they want. We got the poll up, so all of you go and do the poll. I'm going to do it myself. And yeah, it's very, very good. Nice. Thank you, Flit. Flit is always a great help to me. One of these days, he says he's not good on the mic. I wanna have him on, but I'll have to maybe see if he's willing to do it. Come in here because he obviously has a wit and an ability to write some fun stuff in the chat. So I think he sells himself short. 13 watch. We had somebody drop, but we have 13 watching, 15 likes. Very good. Going back to the panel. White box Jesse there for a minute. I'm gonna white box Illustrator Monk. Everybody take a look at that. And white box Humble. I'd like to thank our three
Oh, well,
artists
hello.
for showing up tonight. It's very nice and gratifying to have people come even in small numbers. And then we had our good friends Larry and Matt and Manny come and help me out, filling up the dead space that sometimes I leave. And it's nice of them to be here. As you can hear, Matt is basically banging his keyboard. He likes to murder his keyboard with his fingers, but he is always writing. He's always doing stuff. He's always getting in the mix. So that's what you hear that back there. We cannot hear Manny drawing. It just never happens. And then I assume that Larry's playing a game of some sort. That's usually
I'm just scrolling through YouTube right now.
well, see, he's always up to something. And then let's go back. Let's check out the poll. See where we're at with the poll. 7 votes currently. For anybody there, please go and vote. Who's in the chat, and the artists, please vote, and people on the panel, please vote. Who aren't artists would be very nice. Going back and checking out. Got 13 watching, so there could be at least 13 people to vote, not counting our artists. So that'd be 16 plus. It could be 19 people that would vote. Well, me, 20. So, yeah, go vote.
I might be counted as one of the watchers as well.
You're one of the watchers?
I think so.
All right. Well, that's all right.
Do I get to vote twice?
If you feel like it. I mean, I'm not a. I don't mind if you pad the vote. 12 votes. Hey, it bumped up. Nice. Very nice. Very good. Very nice. You'll go vote? Awesome. Then. He'll stop typing for just a little bit and vote.
Maybe I will.
Maybe he will. He's teasing us. Matt does that.
Let me look at everybody's art here. Wait, Rebel? What? I'm confused. Why does Rebel have art up here?
No, this is just something that another person did. This is not part of the grouping.
What? I can't draw, Matt? What the hell?
You can draw. I
You can draw if you want to.
Okay, I voted.
Fantastic.
I feel good about it. I really feel good about it. Do I get a sticker that I can wear that says I voted?
I would give you one, but I don't know how to give it to you on time. Just saying.
And vote.
Did you vote, Manny?
I can't vote if I'm on my phone.
Why not?
How the hell you do that?
Do you have a browser? Do you have internet on your phone?
I'm just in the Hangout right now.
Oh, you have. Okay. Well,
I would have to leave.
Vote if you want to.
all right. If you can't do it, that's understandable. Manny's as bad as boomer as I am, but that's all right.
Well, I can say who I'm going to vote for.
Well, I guess you could.
It just won't go draw poll. That's not bad.
This is true.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a tie.
right.
I'll breaker.
I think we're okay tonight. We got yeah. All right. I'm gonna call it. We're 12 past the hour because we broke off a little bit early, and let's talk about this. We got 13 votes. Fantastic. 13 votes. Excellent. And with the bronze, with 1 vote, 8% of the vote is Jesse.
Thank you.
Jesse gets a bronze. Fantastic. He's on the podium. And Humble Marty with 3 votes. 23% of the vote. She gets the silver. Fantastic. And I want to really give a shout out to our gold medal winner, Illustrator Monk, with 9 votes and 69 dude percent of the vote. He wins tonight's
Nailed it.
Cheesecake Challenge. Fantastic. Everybody likes green vapor that changes women into, what we call them? What are they called? Nymphomaniacs. Yeah. Everybody loves that. Okay. Let's go back to the chat just for one little thing here. And we got New Star Productions Fire Ink tonight is what it means to feel young. This is true. This is true. Neo Star Productions says dope song. Yep, it is good. So let's go back to the panel one last time. And we're going to close out the show. First of all, Humble, is there something you would like to promote that you're doing?
I actually have another comic strip up tonight with the Adventures of Corcorn featuring a new character.
Okay, cool. Are you doing tapas or what? What is that?
Well, yeah, I have a 1-page on tapas. This one just happens to be another gag strip that I will put on Twitter and DeviantArt, and it was basically inspired by everyone's frustration at desktop Twitter.
Yeah. It's an interesting new layout, I must admit. I don't know what they were thinking. But welcome to the world. What? We lost Jesse, darn it. Okay. Illustrator Monk, you want to pimp your work? We're seeing some of it, I think, right now.
Yeah, so if you can see it, this is some of the pencil work for Tales from the Stacks.
We went a little psychedelic here for a minute.
Dang it. Okay, well, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Illustrator Monk, and I will post some in-progress work on Tales from the Stacks there. And you can find it on Indiegogo.
All right, great. Everybody loves Illustrator Monk and his work. Jesse seemed to have dropped. I'm just kind of sad about that. I wish he was still here. I would have you look for him on Twitter, but I'm not sure of his handle currently. So I'll try to put that when I put the pieces on.
I think he is Red Robot. I can check real quick.
Yeah. And then he has
Yeah,
another
Red
handle.
Robot 3D.
Okay, well, he also has another handle he said he wanted to use, so probably go with that. But yeah, Robot 3D. Matt, tell us what's going down.
What do you mean?
Well, Matt, you can you can pimp whatever you want again before we shut down.
Subscribe to youtube.com/cryptocomics. It's free. Subscribe to youtube.com/testosterone overload if you love pro wrestling. It's free. Back Skunk Girl on Indiegogo. It's not free. Back Niobe on Indiegogo. It's not free.
But it's cheap.
Back Little Girl Lethal on Indiegogo if you are over the age of 21. It's not free, but it is like beautifully painted porn.
Oh, it's not porn.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it is. Well, I don't know. Solo porn.
Oh boy. And so are you done?
Yeah, dude. That's it.
Started.
It's fantastic.
Hey, follow at Comicsgate Official on Facebook. Comicsgate Official on Facebook.
Okay. There you go.
Join the Saving Comics group on Facebook.
Mhm.
If you're one of the original, gate crashers who was in Comicsgate before it turned into a dumpster fire, you'll like the Saving Comics group.
Man.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, that's.
Oh boy. Oh girl.
Manny, can I get a? Oh Lord.
Oh Lord.
I disavow.
Manny. Speaking of Manny, do you want to throw out anything before we bring
Sure. I mean, I like a crypto and Slick been talking about. Go check out Skunk Girl on Indiegogo right now. 80 pages of fun, very colorful book. If you guys like the old 90s, 80s, where you could see beautiful women doing some amazing stuff. That's what the book is all about. Fifis are tolerated in this book. Any fifis are met with extreme prejudice. So if you like that kind of stories, and you can see me on Good Dog Press Monday and Friday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern. And you can catch me on Twitter on Good Dog Press. Please tune in tomorrow night, especially for the first 5 minutes.
Oh.
Won't be some fireworks.
Boom, boom, boom. Larry from Rebel Comics, Niobe fame. Tell us what's going down and why we should pay attention.
Man, I wish Manny was going live now. I want to see what's going on. But yeah, Niobe, on Indiegogo, 8 days left. And it's not a lot of time to jump on board. We're less than, we're like 89% funded, I think is what it is now. So the time is now. And if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Rebel Comics and Rebel Gaming, respectfully on YouTube, and Niobe Comic on Twitter.
Awesome, man. I'm going to show my book one more time. I'm going to go over here real quick to share. We'll look at this. This is the cover, the wraparound cover of my book, Little Girl Lethal. You'll get this book, and it'll be around 80 pages with the secondary story and a large gallery of fan art. 36 pages of beautiful art done by my friend and collaborator, Whiskey Paint. We're still getting art in for the secondary story, and I am lettering and doing form editing and stuff for the pages. Hopefully we can get that done by the end of the summer. I'm hoping that's the case. But if you'd like to go look it up, it is on Indiegogo in demand. We're a little bit under 23,000. You can pick it up. We have two versions, the modest and the immodest. The modest is still quite risque. Still, I wouldn't put that in front of kids, as Matt has pointed out. And the immodest is the full Monty in how you would expect.
Yeah, if you put it in front of kids, you'll go to jail.
Yeah, and you shouldn't do that. Keep it up on the high shelves.
That's right.
So, this is a very well put together book. The art is absolutely fabulous from Whiskey Paint, and my friend Troy Torres is doing a different style, a little more cartoony, a lot of fun. I am a good writer, if I do say so myself.
He is a good writer.
And you'll have a good story, something to introduce you to the character and to pull you on to the next installments of the saga of Sugar, her epic journey of vengeance and discovery.
I mean, seriously though, Jimmy, when are you going to print, dude? Everybody's waiting.
I wish I knew the date, but I
I'm
don't.
gonna keep it real with John Delhole. I gotta keep it real with you, dude. When are you gonna know the date? Come on.
Don't know. You can snap your fingers all night, and it might cause yourself to have some arthritis later on. I'm just worried about you, man. We're gonna go back to the panel real quick, and I'm gonna stop sharing, and I'm gonna tell everybody out there. Please stay tuned for the next installment of the next episode of the Cheesecake Challenge next week. Hopefully, I can get OBS working because Hangouts will not be working any longer to do this, sadly. And hopefully, I know I can make it without too many snafus. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm glad for everybody that showed up. Humble Marty, Illustrator Monk, Jesse, Larry, Matt, and Manny, and for all the people in the chat. Thanks for coming and hanging out and having fun with us and goofing around and creating good art and talking about the things of the day. I hope you all have prosperity and success in whatever you're doing that's good. And I hope you're staying creative and trying to bring a little bit of beauty and a little bit of fun into the world. I'm going to close out tonight. Take care, and we'll see you later.
See ya.